everybody. Good afternoon. It's good to be here on Facebook Live again today. My name is Bonnie Barclay. I am the owner of Creekside Counseling and Wellness and a therapist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're joining me live, hello. Feel free to comment below to let me know you're here. And if you're catching the replay, welcome. So, this is a two-part series. Today is part two of intentional living, and today I'm going to be focusing on the family. So, I want to start with looking at a four-step process that the Intentional Family Project talks about to help families identify a path for intentional living. And then we're going to move in to explore some of the research by Gottman that also is helpful in terms of this family piece as well. If you want more information about some of the Gottman work, I do have a series that I did earlier that definitely unpacks this from a couple perspective, but I also think those skills are applicable in other relationships as well. So, with Gottman, he found in his research that once a couple becomes parents, the happiest couples have a shared sense of meaning about their lives. And this goes back to that value system. They make intentional choices about how they will move through their days rather than just trying to get through them, kind of in that hustle and bustle of life. Gottman calls this a family's legacy, which is based on the concept of rituals of connection. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about with the four-step process, is that rhythm. So, what is the four steps? The first one is recognizing your family's identity. Step two is to establish your family plan. Step three is to activate that family plan. And four is to preserve your family identity. And I did post an infographic of that four-step process on my Facebook page yesterday. So if you missed anything from those four steps, just feel free to grab that off the Facebook page. Okay, so number one is recognizing your family's identity. And this first step really leads your family through the process of identifying who you want to be as a family by identifying your core family values. And I talk about this so much, is really allowing those core values to guide your decision making individually, to really create a sense of sound relationship house with your spouse or partner, and then also in creating that intentional family. The second step is that establish your family plan, and this is really about how you will encourage your family to create family goals that will help you achieve your identity. This is where creating rhythms and identifying different resources to help you achieve these goals is really important. And we're going to talk more about each of these. Activate your family plan. In this step, you're going to be provided with the resources and ideas needed to start and continue your unique intentional family plan. And then finally, how do you preserve it? This gives your family different techniques and tools needed to measure and celebrate your growth and achievement over time and address any barriers as an intentional family. So, as you continue through this process, it's important not to feel like you need to do everything all at once, especially the first few times through this process of the four steps. It can be overwhelming if you try to do too much at once, and then people just forfeit the plan because it becomes too much for them to take on. And so start small. Just pick a few things that speak to you and where your family is at right now and what you want to address. As you gain momentum as a family, you can add and adjust as you continue to journey through the intentional family process. So, today we're going to dig in more around each of these steps. So, again, step one is recognize your family identity. When you think about this, what does it mean to have a family identity? Especially when a family is made up of different individuals that may all have different values and beliefs. And certainly that really changes and can get even more entrenched as children grow and develop and move into adolescence and young adulthood. So, our values really represent those non negotiables in our lives. Since there can be a difference among family members, it can be helpful to focus on those core family values that you all agree on. Core family values create the feeling of unity in that family unit, reminding each member that you are all on the same team. This is what Gottman refers to as that shared meaning. So, core family values become the foundation that help family members guide their decision making. And remember, small stuff often, right? So, my recommendation is starting with three core values. When you limit the number of core values to no more than three in the beginning, remember it helps you build success and that momentum that you need to stick with something new, a new plan. As an intentional family, you will be encouraged to let your core values guide how you make decisions, how you spend your time, and even how you spend your money as a family. Identifying fewer core values helps create clarity in what goals you should set as a family. If you get too many, it's just going to muddy the waters at first. So, here are some jumpstart questions to consider. When our kids are grown, how do we want them to describe our family life? What do we want to say we accomplished as a family? How will we know we have lived our best family life? What are our spiritual beliefs? What values do we have as a family because of those spiritual beliefs? When you look around, what families inspire you and inspire your family? What are they doing in family life that you like? Also, I have posted the 6 bucket exercise a couple of times now. You can do this together as a family, not just for you personally or for you as a couple, but you can also sit down and look at that 6 bucket exercise and tailor it specifically to different areas you want to explore to identify those core values and interests as a family. And if you can't find that on the Facebook page, just feel free to message me or leave a comment below the talk today, and I'll certainly try and get that to you. All right, so step 2, to establish your family plan. The intentional family process is designed to help families achieve the life unique to their identity and values. To be able to create the family plan, you will need to 1, set clear goals, 2, establish family rhythms, 3, manage family resources that align with your family identity and values. So, setting goals allows family to take this idea, this dream, and move it into a reality. And we talked about this. If you look at one of my past ones on the Gottman series that talks about dreams within conflict, you know, dreams create this sense of unity when we support each other in achieving those dreams. And this is the same thing whether it's with couples or with family. Making life dreams come true is important. So, doing this together as a family allows each member to have a voice and you to get a sense on how you can support each other in that process. So, here are some jumpstart questions for this area. Where do we want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years? And having this discussion both for each member to share that answer personally, but also as a family, what do you want that to look like? What are we currently doing to get there? Like, what's working well? What are we currently doing that will keep us from getting there? Really looking at the progress and barriers, and what do you need to create more space for as you move towards these goals in your family? So another part of this is establishing those family rhythms. And family rhythms are defined through our family roles, our routines, our rules, rituals, and the recreational activities that we engage in. So here are some jumpstart questions for that. In terms of roles, who does what in the family? What should we each be doing in our family? In terms of rules, how do we do things? What are our goals and values? What should we do? What should we not do? Routines. When do we do certain activities and tasks in our family? Cleaning your rooms. Do you make your bed before you go to school? Does anyone care, right? What are these rules and routines that are important to you as a family? Rituals. How do we connect and celebrate each other? Recreational. How do we rest and enjoy time with each other? It's important to assess these areas to make sure that we're in line with those core family values. Remember, these values are designed to help you with your yes and your no, those boundaries, your overall decision making as a family, just as your personal values help you day to day with your boundaries and decision making. It's the same thing here. Gottman suggests considering questions like, how do we want meal times to be? How do we mark holidays or spend our summer vacation? How will we celebrate good news? How will we deal with bad news together as a family? We build the partnerships and families of our dreams 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, by doing the kind things, the loving things, the things that feel meaningful, the things that give and express gratitude and appreciation. And the beauty of this 1 day at a time thing is if we don't have the best day, guess what? There's tomorrow. We all need a tomorrow sometimes, right? Creating rhythm is all about making space for what Gottman refers to as rituals of connection, shared meaning, and making life dreams come true. So as part of this step, I talked about the importance of managing family resources. Intentional families become adept at setting clear, consistent boundaries with their time, money, and relationships in pursuit of their family identity and goals. Clear and consistent boundaries with time, money, and relationships. The yes and no's of daily life. Intentional families recognize that their resources, that time, money, and relationships are limited. So they manage their resources wisely as they move forward with setting clear goals, with choosing on purpose how you want to spend time and preserve your family resources like time and money. Sometimes we really have to preserve that, especially the time piece. And just in terms of time, I think everybody knows I have two kids. They grew up swimming a lot. They're competitive swimmers. And so sometimes in looking at how to preserve that time, it's quality over quantity and really making the best use of that time that you have available while they also are pursuing their dreams. Step 3 is activate your family plan. This is all about implementing your plan. And what's important here is to remember that this is a process, and with any new plan, you learn as you go. The plan may have false starts, learning opportunities, and definitely at times need to be revised. And so I'm going to say it again. My favorite Gottman saying is small stuff often. Start small. Success builds confidence, momentum for you and your family. Start small, implement one thing at a time, and stick with it for 30 days. That's kind of the rule of thumb, right? 30 days. Come back together, review and revise if needed. If it's going well, then add another layer to that intentional family process. If it feels awkward, which sometimes implementing something new does feel awkward, right? You know what I say about if something feels awkward or off, right? What do I want you to do? Lean in. Lean into that awkwardness. Be curious about it. Sit with it a bit. New can feel awkward, maybe even scary or fearful. The question may be, will it work? Is this okay? I don't know if this is going to work. That uncertainty starts cropping up. If it is guided by your core values, new will begin to feel more comfortable. So it's important to be able to differentiate between that uncomfortable that says this is new and something that maybe may not be aligned with your core values, and you're discovering that as part of this implementation process. And being able to pull that apart is best done when you're leaning in and you're curious about what that feeling is trying to tell you. So this is not a checklist, a one and done type of family makeover project. The goal is progress, not perfection. You are less likely to stick to your plan if it's overwhelming due to unrealistic expectations for you and your family. So it's important to remind yourself regularly why you and your family are doing what you're doing. Go back to those core values and goals you discussed and make sure you're staying true to them, in line with them. It gives you a sense of purpose when things are hard to understand where that is coming from. Some families create visual and tangible reminders of these values, maybe words, symbols, or even a family mission statement. Reminders are a way to keep your family on track. All right, so this final step is step 4, preserving your family identity. It's easy to lose track of what we want to achieve in the mundane and busyness of daily life. Intentional families remain accountable by creating space for communication, measuring progress towards goals, and my favorite, remaining flexible. So the glue to all this is staying intentional and flexible with systems in place for accountability. Intentional families create space in the journey of their lives to make sure they are on track with those goals. It's easier to stay on course when you create opportunities for conversation in your family routine. This may look like regular family meetings, fun nights where you check in. That really, again, depends on the culture and the members in your family and what works for you guys to define that. Some like something more formal, and some like just a lighter check in with a fun evening to look forward to. So let's look at some jumpstart questions for these check ins. Are our values the same as they once were? And again, that can change developmentally, right? As your kids get older, as different things become important. Are we reaching our goals? Do we need to create new goals? How is the family plan working? And do any of our family rhythms need to change? These check-ins allow for honest and open feedback to celebrate small wins and to help guide any changes that need to happen. It's a good space to discuss family spending and budget issues as developmentally appropriate with your kids, reflecting the underlying core values as you do discuss these different areas. As you create space for communication and measure progress, you may find that your family is on track. Your plan's working, then keep doing it. However, in most circumstances, it's more likely that you will find that your family needs to make some changes to your goals, your plan. Think about it just in terms of routine and bedtimes. As your children get older, those routines have to change, right? Families change over time, and so it's important to be flexible and review it. So the hard truth for today is that this is not a one and done concept. It's a process requiring time, intention, accountability, and flexibility, with all family members having a voice. Family members may not agree on everything, but most can get to some core values. 3 core values, guys. Your takeaway: how can you begin to explore this as a family? Starting small, being consistent, really trying new things and giving it a chance. Things that may feel awkward or even scary over the next 30 days till you decide to revise or you feel more comfortable. So I hope you have a good takeaway from this. And I want to just close with sharing one other thing today. Yes, it's kind of a pitch for my practice. I do want to make aware for any clients watching this that we have a new wellness service that I'm so excited about here at Creekside. On Fridays, I'm going to have a massage therapist coming in and providing that trauma-sensitive work for clients. Really see this as an important part of healing, is reconnecting and nurturing the body for many trauma survivors. So I'm really excited to partner with Phyllis, the massage therapist, to be doing this work for our clients. If you want more information about those services, please check out the website at creekside-wellness.com. I hope to see you guys soon, and I will be jumping on later next week to talk about EMDR a little bit. And then in February, I'm going to do a 2-part series called For the Love, and going to be talking about different things about love, relationships, including self-compassion and our relationship with ourselves. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.